A bouncer grabbed a kid in a wheelchair, lifted him up, threw him onto the sidewalk. The wheelchair tipped over. The kid hit the concrete, and Tom Hanks was standing 3 feet behind the bouncer when it happened. What Tom did in the next 60 seconds got that club shut down permanently, and what he did in the next 6 months made that kid a millionaire. Do not skip this video, because the revenge Tom Hanks took on this bouncer is the most satisfying thing you'll hear all year. Subscribe right now. This story is insane. September 8, 2019. A nightclub, West Hollywood. 10:45 p.m. Tom Hanks was at a charity event. Black tie, celebrities everywhere. The kind of party where everyone pretends to care about a cause while drinking expensive champagne. Tom hated these things, but his wife had asked him to come. So he came. He was outside getting some air when he saw the line. A crowd of people waiting to get into the club next door. Loud music, flashing lights, and the usual Hollywood scene. And in that line was a kid in a wheelchair. He was maybe 19 or 20. A good-looking kid, nice clothes. A smile that lit up his whole face. He was with 2 friends who were standing beside him, laughing, joking around, excited to get in. You could tell he didn't get out much. The way he was looking at the club, the lights, the people, like it was Christmas morning. Like this was the most exciting night of his life. His friends had clearly planned this. Matching shirts that said, Danny's birthday crew. Balloons tied to the back of his wheelchair. They wanted to give him a night he'd never forget. They did. Just not the way they planned. The line moved forward. The kid rolled his wheelchair toward the entrance. The bouncer held up his hand. Not you. The kid's smile faded. Excuse me? You can't come in. Why not? I'm 21. I have ID. It's not about your ID. It's about that. The bouncer pointed at the wheelchair. Fire hazard. I can't have wheelchairs blocking the exits. I'll stay out of the way, I promise. I just want to hang out with my friends. I said no. Now move. One of the kid's friends stepped forward. Dude, that's discrimination. You can't do that. There are laws. I don't care about laws. I care about my club, and wheelchairs aren't allowed. End of discussion. The kid's face fell. Please, it's my birthday. My friends planned this whole night. I just want one normal night out. Please. The bouncer leaned down, got in the kid's face. Listen, cripple, I said no. Now get your broken ass out of my line before I move you myself. Tom felt his blood turn to ice. The kid's friends started arguing. Voices raised. A crowd was forming. And then the bouncer did it. He grabbed the handles of the wheelchair, spun it around, and shoved. The wheelchair flew forward, hit the curb, tipped over. The kid spilled onto the sidewalk. His legs twisted under him at an angle that made Tom's stomach turn. He couldn't move them. He couldn't catch himself. He just hit the concrete, face first. Blood started pooling under his chin. His friends screamed. People gasped. The bouncer just stood there, arms crossed, smiling. I warned him. Tom was already moving. He didn't walk. He charged. The bouncer was still standing there, arms crossed, smiling at the kid on the ground like he was proud of what he'd done. Like he'd accomplished something. Tom grabbed him by the collar, spun him around, slammed him against the brick wall of the club so hard the bouncer's head bounced. What the hell is wrong with you? The bouncer's eyes went wide. He was big, maybe 6 feet 4 inches, 280 pounds, but the look in Tom's eyes made him shrink. Then he recognized who was holding him. Mr. Hanks, I was just doing my job. Your job? Tom's voice was loud enough for the entire line to hear. Your job is to throw disabled kids onto the concrete? Your job is to call them cripples? That's your job? He was causing a scene. He was causing a scene? You just assaulted a kid in a wheelchair on his birthday, and you're the victim? Are you insane?" People were gathering now, phones out, recording. The bouncer looked around nervously. "Mr. Hanks, let's calm down." "I am calm. If I wasn't calm, you'd be on the ground next to him." Tom let go of the bouncer's collar. Not because he wanted to, because he needed his hands free. He pulled out his phone. "What are you doing?" the bouncer asked. "Ending your career." Tom turned to the crowd. Dozens of people had their phones out now, recording everything. Good, he wanted witnesses. "Everyone recording? Good, keep recording. I want the world to see what this club does to disabled people." He knelt down next to the kid. His friends had gotten him upright, but his chin was bleeding badly. He was shaking, crying, humiliated. "What's your name?" Daniel Reyes." "Daniel, I'm Tom. Are you okay? Can you move everything?" "I can't feel my legs, but I couldn't feel them before, so..." He tried to laugh. It came out as a sob. "We're going to get you help, and then we're going to make sure this never happens to anyone else, okay?" "Okay." Tom called 911. Ambulance arrived in 8 minutes. Daniel was taken to the hospital. Cuts on his chin, bruises on his arms, but nothing broken. A miracle, given how hard he'd hit the ground. But Tom wasn't done. He walked back to the bouncer, who was still standing by the door, looking nervous. "What's your name?" "I don't have to tell you. The police are going to ask. Might as well tell me now." Vince Kowalski." "Vince, who owns this club?" "I'm not telling you that." "That's fine, I'll find out." Tom turned to the crowd again, held up his phone. "If anyone got video of what just happened, please send it to me. My assistant's email is on my public website. I want every angle, every second." Within an hour, Tom had 17 different videos of the incident. 17 angles of a bouncer throwing a kid in a wheelchair onto concrete. And then he went to work. Here's what happened in the next 72 hours. Tom posted one of the videos on his social media. No caption. Just the video. 15 million followers saw it within 24 hours. Then it got shared. And shared again and again. Within 48 hours, 80 million people had seen a bouncer throw a kid in a wheelchair onto the sidewalk. The hashtag Justice for Daniel started trending. Then hashtag Shut It Down. Then the club's name with a string of angry emojis. The internet exploded. The club's Yelp page went from 4.2 stars to 1.1 stars overnight, flooded with 1-star reviews. Discriminates against disabled people. Staff are monsters. Shut this place down. Their Instagram was bombarded. Every post, no matter how old, filled with comments about Daniel, about the bouncer, about what they'd done. Their phone lines were jammed. People calling to curse them out. People calling to cancel reservations. People calling just to say, "Shame on you." Celebrities started chiming in. Other actors, musicians, athletes, all of them saying the same thing. This is unacceptable. The club owner released a statement. "We do not condone this behavior. The employee has been terminated. We apologize to anyone who was offended." Offended. Like throwing a disabled kid onto concrete was just offensive. Like calling him a cripple was just impolite. Tom wasn't satisfied. He dug deeper. The club had a history. 3 previous complaints about disability discrimination. All of them quietly settled. All of them buried. The bouncer had a history too. 2 previous assault charges. Both pled down. Both times he kept his job. The system had protected these people for years. Tom decided to break the system. He hired lawyers. Not for himself, for Daniel, and for the 3 previous victims who had been silenced. He connected them with disability rights organizations, with journalists, with anyone who would listen. Within a month, the club was facing 4 lawsuits, a civil rights investigation, and a criminal assault charge against the bouncer. Within 3 months, the club lost its liquor license, then its entertainment license, then its lease. It closed permanently in January 2020. The bouncer, Vince Kowalski, was convicted of assault, 18 months in prison, plus a lifetime ban from working security anywhere in California. And Daniel's lawsuit was settled out of court. The number was confidential, but let's just say he never has to worry about money again. But here's the part that really matters. Tom didn't just get Daniel money, he got him a platform. He introduced Daniel to activists, to journalists, to people who could amplify his voice. Daniel started speaking publicly about disability rights, about the daily humiliations disabled people face, about the clubs that turn them away, the restaurants that don't have room, the world that treats them like inconveniences. Daniel is 25 now. He runs a nonprofit called Open Doors that fights disability discrimination in entertainment venues. They've filed over 200 complaints. They've gotten 34 venues to change their policies. They've trained over 1,000 bouncers and security guards on disability rights. All because Tom Hanks was standing 3 feet away when a bouncer made the worst decision of his life. Daniel keeps a photo on his desk. It's from the night they won the lawsuit. He's in his wheelchair, holding a bottle of champagne. Tom is next to him, arm around his shoulder, both of them grinning. On the back, Tom wrote, "They threw you on the ground. You got back up and changed the world. That's not disability. Yeah, that's superpower." Tom. Daniel reads that note every time someone tells him he can't do something. Then he proves them wrong. That's the ripple effect. 1 bouncer, 1 wheelchair, 1 fall, 1 club shut down, 1 bouncer in prison, 1 kid who became an advocate for millions. That's what happens when the wrong person does the wrong thing in front of the right person. That's Tom Hanks.